Welcome in, folks. We're here with another episode of I've Got a Theory. I'm Henish. I'm here with my friend and guest for today, Bryan Finley with California Property Inspections.
Thank you, Henish.
Thanks for joining me. So we're not talking real estate or inspections at all because Bryan's got a theory.
I got a theory.
And I want to hear more about it.
My theory is I've traveled all over. I lived in other countries. And, once I had that experience, what type of changes that I went through in my own head as far as, humans and how do we all do it. My theory is that it should be mandatory to live in other countries for at least 1 year.
Yep.
And the injection of the different culture to get you out of your bubble that you were born and raised in, not you, but that human, we just stay in this little zone that we're comfortable with. And when you remove them out of that and expose them to other things in life, you grow as a person.
Yeah.
You have no choice. You have to.
And living in a different country is a lot different than visiting.
Oh, yeah.
Because your hotel or your resort isn't living there, because you're not interacting with the locals, you're not meeting people, you're not seeing how people live, because you learn that there's a lot of similarities between people more than there are differences.
They're all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
We all go to work. We all try to make money. We all have kids. We all have someone else, husband, wife, whatever. And we, basically same pattern. The drill is every country I've ever visited, the first thing I've done is make friends with the locals and then hang out with them every day after work so I can see every day just their culture. And plus, you just want to hang out with other people. You get bored. And what I started to learn was we're all doing the same thing. I lived in 4 different countries for over a year each.
Yeah.
And we've all are doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You go to work, you come home, no one knows what to eat. Right? If you go to Japan, they argue about what to eat for dinner. If you go to Kuwait, they argue about what to eat for dinner. Yeah. Well, so do we. Yeah. Right? You worry about the kids, they worry about the kids.
Yeah.
You worry about your health, they worry about their health. It's all the same thing. It's just done a different way.
So what does it teach you when you go overseas then?
That there's a million ways to skin a cat.
Okay.
And we've heard the story. We've been pounded into our heads. There's 100 ways to do one things, but once you see it, once you see the human part of doing that, you start accepting it on a different level that maybe you were not even aware of before. Maybe there was things in your head that you were not aware of, and it does come to light once you do see them, right? This is how I've done it my whole life, and when I was in Kuwait, this is how I've done it until someone else introduced me into something else, and most of mine was food. I only eat this, but when you go to somewhere else and they don't have that, you're gonna do it their way.
Yeah.
And you start like that, and now I just crave it. I want to see it. I want to taste it. I want to try. How do you do that? I want to do that.
Well, so I feel like people that are the biggest America supporters, the ones that say America's the best and we're the greatest, are probably people that have never spent any time overseas.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, every country.
I feel like that makes you a little bit more modest when you live someplace else. Because now I've been to 30 plus countries and I've lived in other countries too, and I agree. I love living here the most. But I've tempered down the America is the best type rhetoric because, one, it's obnoxious when you're
they
anywhere
all
else.
say it. Every country says
that they're the best, right?
Yeah, this is the greatest place on earth.
Yeah.
All the propaganda that I noticed from all the governments was the exact same.
Right.
We're the best. They all want to be here. They're all jealous of you.
Yep.
All three.
It doesn't matter if you're in North Korea.
They don't care.
Or if you're in Norway.
They don't care.
It doesn't matter.
We're the best, and we hate them.
Yeah.
That's the message they all give.
And they're jealous, yeah.
To only promote, obviously they're going to promote their own countries. But is it real? No, it's not real. The humans are the same. It doesn't matter. The only thing that really changes is what we eat. And now that's where it gets fun. Now we can finally, men are the same. It's the same thing. The women, they're the same.
Yeah.
They have a little different cultural views. It doesn't matter. It's the same. But when you get down to the food, now we've got some real differences we can really enjoy.
So I spent a year abroad, and it was kind of a shock for me because I'm ethnically from India, and I've been back for visits with my family. But it's like visits, we're like tourists.
You're used to being here, and you're from here.
So when I got moved there, it was a shock because I was 26 years old, and I had to make local friends. It took some time, get used to local life, rent my own house, get around with a car. I had a driver, and he was helpful, but it did teach me a lot, one, about myself and adapting to a new place.
Oh, yeah.
And two, about how, the most common thing is that we're all earthlings and we're all humans.
Right.
It doesn't matter what country you're at.
We're doing the same thing.
And I hope that, your idea that people should travel and spend more time in other countries catches on because
Let me clarify it. I think it should be mandatory.
Mandatory.
Because the riffraff around not only this country, but all the countries,
Yeah.
they should be mandatory to travel to.
Yeah.
But, I mean, obviously, this isn't ever going to happen.
No,
But
yeah,
it's a great conversation.
it's a good thing to think about because it does show you how other people live and how to show appreciation for it and show a little humility for what your life is
right.
like.
And stop buying into, the local propaganda that goes on throughout our lives.
Right.
Right.
And just
when I was
know
young,
that
the
everyone thinks that, right?
Yeah, when I was young, the propaganda was different, okay? But it's still the same propaganda. It's just spun a different way. Their countries do it. Our country does it.
Yeah.
I think you should just go and live there.
I think
Whatever
that's probably one of the best points is that other countries also are very proud of their own country.
Can you imagine?
And you don't think about that when
they
you're an
weren't?
American. You're like, oh, I didn't realize that France thought that they were the best country.
Yes. Can
Or-
you
or
imagine
that-
the Russian president saying, "Hey, America's better than us"?
Yeah, we're number two, but they're number one. They're number one. Yeah.
No one's going to say that. So they all have to say, almost by default.
Yeah.
You have to promote your country. And if you were elected president of whatever country, are you going to say we're number two? No. They're going to throw you out. You have to say that.
I feel like some of those socialist countries in Northern Europe are okay with being like not ranked as the best country, even though they always get like top rankings for like quality of life. And
We can get into this too. So let's say, number one, who gets to determine who's the best?
Yeah.
Where's the judge on that?
no, I
There
mean,
isn't one, but
there's different metrics that they use. Like
right.
education,
You're right.
health,
I mean,
whatever.
I've been through our
happiness scale.
education system here. I've been through the public system. I've been through the private system, and I've learned more by traveling to other countries
true.
than I did I've learned more on a plane with our buddy Samit in 3 hours than I did in college.
That's true.
The life experiences are not even close to
True.
what you have been taught or what you're learning in school.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
True.
Just go and experience it.
Thanks, Brian,
Good
for
topic,
sharing.
man.
And
Good stuff.
stay tuned for our future episodes. But today's, you got to go spend some time overseas, mandatory.
I'm trying to go back. I love it. It's fun.
Thanks for joining me, Brian.
Take care.